Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and whatever time it is. I hope you are having a good one. Welcome back to House Flipper 2 with Rash Decision. If you enjoy this type of content, please leave me a like, subscribe, and maybe even a comment to let me know. Enjoy the video. Alright, today we're doing another mod review. I decided to go out and look for one that hasn't been downloaded a lot, but was fairly recent, something like that. And I found one right here that actually really intrigued me. This is something that's always fascinated me, taking a shed and turning it into like an actual residential home. And it looks like that's what the purpose of this one is. This one is from Niko. It looks like a pretty basic, straightforward kind of situation. A small plot, has like a shed put onto it, somebody wanting to turn it into a home, that sort of thing. So let's go ahead, let's get started, and we'll just kind of see what this is like. Oh, we're gonna play it. All right. So it definitely seems like there's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done here. I like the flavor. Make it look like, you know, the bins tipped over. Make it look like there's some broken pallets over here to the side. I've actually seen properties like this before. Like, don't ever think that this sort of thing doesn't happen in the real world. It absolutely does. I've seen properties like this. I have been part of a crew that was paid to clean up properties like this. Looks like we got some stuff to put down in the yard after we get done cleaning it up. Looks like most of everything. Oh wow, there's actually a pond here. It has some stuff like just tossed in it. That's like something that would be like almost a biohazard to kind of get out, because you know that wood has soaked up a whole bunch of that water, and it has like mold and algae and everything else growing in and on it. Other than that, it looks like it's a pretty straightforward, yeah, just like I thought, little shed right here. The door's falling apart. Looks like we're gonna have to clean up right here, very least. Looks like it's not something I can go. And of course, we get rid of the leaves. I'll come back and get that a little bit better later. Looks like there has been somebody with like some really muddy boots coming in and out of here. And of course, like, this is something that I would expect to find in a shed like this. Of course, like I said, I have actually been in sheds like this. I've been in properties like this, where you just about have to climb over stuff to get in and around. And yeah, this is pretty authentic. I'm feeling this one. Got the real rusty fuse box here. Got a couple things that looks like we may end up having to move in after we get everything figured out. That's pretty clever though, like pile them in there with everything else. That's pretty nice. I like that. Let's see. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. We'll just start by cleaning up some of this trash and see kind of like where that gets us. Definitely seems like there's some plants here that need to be sold. This is pretty clever actually, where the plants are kind of just out there, like in the yard, almost. They're trying to invoke the idea that the plants have been, how do you say? Have been growing there for a little bit, that sort of thing. Let's see, where'd my trash bag go? Last time it just kind of teleported to wherever it was. Aha, so I actually keep hold of it now. Must have been part of the update. I see there's like that pot there. Yeah, there's tons of stuff here that need to be cleaned up. And again, like I said, I've actually done this before, like in the real world. I'm not talking about like in House Flipper 1. I'm talking about I've done this in the real world before. This is not an easy job. I actually do have quite a bit of respect for the guys that can actually do this all day, every day. There's like those professional cleanup crews that you find every now and then that they'll just do this. And I actually paid a crew like that to clean out the house that I'm working on, and I paid them about $1,000. They only asked for about 800. Then they got to the end of the day and they were all sweating, they were all dirty, and I just looked at the guy and I said, "I'm giving you $1,000. So don't even bother trying to haggle this." I mean, because all he wanted was 800, but I knew that it wasn't an $800 job, so I handed him 1,000 anyway. There we go. Let's start over here so I can kind of get some of this taken out as well. a lot of what I'm trying to do here is just getting rid of the trash first so that I can kind of see a little bit better what I'm doing. Go. And when you're seeing this video, I will actually go ahead and mention, I've had a couple of comments mentioning a few things to me on this week's videos, or I'm sorry, not this week's, last week's. You'll actually see this next week, but next week I'm going to be in Atlanta. That's not where I live. That's actually quite a ways away from where I live. The new job that I picked up is asking me to come to Atlanta to do training and orientation, that sort of thing. So that's what I'll be doing next week. So anything you see in this video, this is being recorded a week prior, more than a week prior to this video actually going live. And that's just entirely because I wanted you guys to have the content that I want to put out while I'm not available to do it physically. Normally, when I do one of these videos, I only do it like maybe a few days before, or maybe like the day that one goes live, I'll actually be doing the next one, that sort of thing. Those are extreme cases where I just don't have the time to really do it properly. But most of the time, by the time Monday rolls around, I'm editing, or I'm sorry, not editing. I'm recording Friday's video. Is usually how it goes. This is a pretty straightforward little cleanup right here. I have a feeling this is going to be a relatively short video, but that's okay because I kind of want to see how I can get this to come out. Mostly I'm just going to talk to you guys while I do the cleanup here, and that just has to do with the fact that I have a feeling this is going to be a really short video if I speed up everything. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. Looks like there's no more trash here. Or if there is, I don't see it. Got a few things here. I'm getting a audio cue for a couple of little things. Okay, so let's actually go ahead and start selling some stuff. And that'll give us a good idea of what we need to do. Because it looks like there's still a few pieces of trash left. It looks like that's actually just going to be moved. I'll put that back like that. That looks like a piece of trash to me. Or maybe it's like one of the... Yeah, it's a dead plant. Okay. Go. A few things here. Yeah, it looks like there's some stuff up on the building itself that needs to be sold. Looks like that window right there. Okay. We're getting rid of the door. That's obvious because the door is... Oh, we're getting rid of the trash can too. Okay. Well, now I don't have a door to get back in, so I guess I'm going to have to place the door early. Let's see. That's a nice door. I like that door. There we go. And now we have this ratty little shed and a really nice door on it. Okay. Let's see. Let's get rid of that. What else is there? I'm just going to have it all drop to the floor because otherwise it's going to take an age and a half. Got a few more cells. Oh, there we go. And then put these on the ground so they're not floating. Alright, so let's go ahead and we will get out. Looks like this is actually being kept. Let's go ahead and get out the vacuum and get some of the stuff off the floor, and then we'll go through and I will speed everything up when we start cleaning because it looks like there's a lot of it. And I'm just going to go through the tasks. Once it speeds up, it's not going to stop until I'm ready to do the outro, so we will see you on the other side. But let's go ahead and get this vacuumed up. What's that? a sponge. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the leaves out of here. All right. That should be everything. Looks like there's still some trash left. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not quite sure where it is. I'm getting some audio cues. I'm not seeing anything. Something back in here? No. No, doesn't seem like it. I'm not quite sure where this trash is. I thought it might have been like up on the roof or something, but I'm not. Oh, here we go. It was hiding over here under where the pallets were. All right, so that's everything. Lovely, lovely. Okay, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get started, and I will see you on the other side. looks like that's all there is to it. That's what I thought. It's a pretty short little straightforward house. One thing I will say is that I'm a big fan of the blue clapboard combined with, like, I'm not quite sure what this would be. Maybe beech, maybe ash. I'm not quite sure. But this raw wood trim on the exterior with the nice bright blue. I don't really want to say bright. I want to say vibrant. This nice deeply saturated blue for the clapboard. It was a really good combination. I really like it. When you go inside, I will say the blue is a little bit strong because they wanted to continue the blue inside as well. And don't get me wrong, it's not bad. Definitely not bad. Could use a little bit of work on the color combination, especially with like something like this being used to offset the color a little bit. The door and the windows and the chair and like the little things, like the white over here, do set it off. But I will say that there were a few things I noticed. So first, when it comes to placing an oven, there's a little bit of care that you have to take about putting it against a wall like this. But the problem here is that the wall is really the only place you can put it. And that's only because you're not supposed to have your oven and your cooktop next to your sink. And a lot of that just has to do with just bleeding through the heat from the oven into like the pipes in the sink and ruining your cold water, things like that. And there's also just the fact that electric elements next to water, it's not a great idea. So you want to have them separated as far as you can, and it kind of puts it against the wall. And in this case, when you open the oven, it kind of contacts the door frame here. And I know that's more the engine's fault that it gets stuck like that, but the fact that it contacts the door in the first place is really just a testament to the fact that it's not a great place for this oven. But that aside, everything does come together very well. The verticality that was required to place everything in here, like the boxes. If you notice, I was putting stuff up in the boxes, and the boxes, they were bottomless. They just had more and more and more in them, and I kept having to think, like, where am I going to put all this? And it's like a nice little challenge to identify, where do I need to put this kind of stuff? Like the books here, they didn't fit vertically. So I had to lay them down. And, I didn't really want to hide them away in here like I did these boxes, but it was definitely a little bit of a challenge to figure out where they're supposed to go and where they can go, where they can't go, that sort of thing. And actually, I do remember there was one more plant I was supposed to buy, but the problem is I ran out of pots. I'm not quite sure if maybe that was like an oversight, because there is this, but it's just a bucket. There's nothing in it. I'm going to try. Yeah, that's what I thought. It just sits right down inside of it. So that's not actually a pot. That's just a bucket. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Like maybe if the developer meant to put a pot out here for it. I'm going to go ahead and just move this up here just so that I can say that I have done this. Actually, I'll put this on the windowsill. Just like with these towels, I wasn't quite sure what to do with the towels because wasn't really a spot for them. Yeah, but you could put them up in the cabinet, that sort of thing, but it doesn't really do much justice to them because they do look nice. But we'll go ahead. We'll just buy another pot, and we'll go ahead and place that last. That wants me to buy a second vase. That's the game's fault, not the developers. I'm just going to put that out there right now. It's because it's in the sill. Let me do that. There we go. Okay. There we go. And yeah. So when everything gets placed, it looks really nice in here. It's nice and it's detailed. It has a little bit of everything. The advent of putting the bike out here with the bike rack, that was really cool. And I never thought about putting down a mailbox either. That's a cool idea. And of course, like all the plants out here, I thought it would look really nice when they're kind of flanking the step like that. Make the step look a little bit taller. Make the area right here just look a little bit nicer. We could use a light out here. Like if I just go in here, I just go buy a light. I'll show you what I mean. Let's see. Let's go to outdoor lights, And I'm just going to grab one of these. This works fine. And I'm just going to center it right here on this wall. And I'm just going to plop it right there. See how much nicer that is? That's all that's needed. Just a light. Just something in there to fill up the space. Back here, I was kind of disappointed we didn't do anything back here. But all we really did was just place down these couple of chairs and that table. But outside of that, the bathroom, I wasn't quite too sure about. The dark tile with the gray. I can see it. I forgot to do that windowsill, but I'm not going to worry about it at this point. I could see it, and it's a very contemporary style. I'm not sure about the dark tile. I'm not sure about it. I would have rather gone with dark paint and a lighter tile, because the tile is the primary portion of this of the aesthetic in this bathroom, and because it's dark, it makes the bathroom feel smaller when it's already very, very small. So it's odd, it's awkward, Okay, so outside of that, I didn't really notice anything else that was kind of weird. The only thing that kind of confused me is how these cabinets and these shelves were going to work. I knew this shelf was going to go on this wall. I knew that the cabinets were going to go on that wall because of the backsplash, and I knew this table kind of had to go in the corner here because that's the only place that really goes. I had to move that outlet over to get the radiator over here. So there was like a lot of little puzzle pieces here and there that kind of made sense, and I just realized what this is for. There we go. That looks much better. I was thinking that was like a coat hook or something, and I didn't really think about it because this thing placed on the wall on its own without any issue. But anyway, yeah, I didn't really see anything that really jumped out at me as being like a really, really bad problem, except for the oven. And the oven is more the problem of being created by the game than it was by the developer. So I'm going to give you a passing grade on that one. But outside of that, I wasn't quite sure if I placed this exactly like the developer intended. But this was the only way that it really went together in my head, because I saw the cabinets and I was like, okay, that's at the right height for a nightstand. That must go next to the head of the bed. That was the only thing I could think. And this is the only way I could think that it might have possibly gone, because if you turn that, it doesn't fit. But yeah, it was absolutely a big, huge fan. That's actually not contacting that wall. I wonder if it'll fit now. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. This was actually a really cool one. Let's go ahead and finish it. 46,000 for that? That's... wow! I guess there was a lot of stuff in those boxes, because that didn't take very long at all. It really didn't. So let's go back into... oh, whoops. There we go. It is called Shed2Home by Niko. If you want to have a look at it, play it for yourself, absolutely. Go give it a try. It's a great mod. I love the idea of turning sheds into houses. This one has a lot of vertical puzzle to it. So if you really like the challenge of puzzle solving and figuring out where things are supposed to go, this is a great one to play. All right, guys, that's going to be it for us. Have a good one. Cheers.